What is going on, everyone? Badger here. Be sure to like and sub, and let's get into this. Here we go. Further proof, fresh off all the hubbub regarding Games Workshop and Warhammer and the infiltration, and that's what it is, of DEI agenda everywhere for that sweet, sweet ESG money that BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard hand out if you meet their check mark, their check boxes, if you meet their criteria. And so we see more and more games capitulating, which of course led to the entire Sweet Baby Inc. detected fiasco, basically highlighting a type of company that an already corrupted game studio would then bring into further in line with those DEI check marks. And here we go. Here's Pokemon Go. We've seen they've made some weird androgynous non-binary changes to all the characters, making everyone look like either potatoes or all the feminine body parts and types are gone, and everyone looks very rail thin. Now some confirmation, GaymerX, which we've heard about in context of the Gamergate situation, is that they were yet another consultancy company, the narrative consultancy company that had been hired, and they were, at least at the time, backing up Sweet Baby Inc., defending them. Well, here we have some of the blood on their hands, and it is, of course, those changes with Pokemon Go. So, consultancy firm GaymerX, which operates similar to Sweet Baby Inc., consulted with Pokemon Go developer Niantic ahead of the company's radical gender and avatar changes to the game. As reported by former World of Warcraft team lead Mark Kern, who, of course, those corrupted devs and games industries, they are straight up trying to get Mark blacklisted and or fired from any gaming related job. Thankfully, he's taking them all to task and showing receipts while he does it. GaymerX notes on their website they have consulted with Niantic, Volition, which bye-bye to Volition. We saw how that worked out with your Saints Row, and Behavior Interactive. And like Sweet Baby Inc., the company claims it is proud to offer consulting and training services to the games industry. As part of our mission to support and celebrate LGBTQIA+, people are in culture and games. We offer a selection of LGBTQIA+ centered training curricula, as well as customized solutions designed to advance diversity, equity, visibility, and inclusion in gaming. But something tells me if we were to have a GaymerX detected, boy, they wouldn't like that. Company adds, we serve individuals as businesses working in the video games and tabletop gaming industries, including independent games developers, game studios of all sizes, publishers, media outlets, and more. Specifically, the company notes, GaymerX will help you create more LGBTQIA+ inclusive games, workplaces, and events. And the joke there is that damn near every single community that they infiltrate, every game, every TV show, every movie, all of it, it was already inclusive. It was already open, and it already had fans that were women and or underrepresented groups. And most of them, when you watch them in the and you see them in the comments, they hate the changes that have been made supposedly for them. Then lists off a number of services that it provides, including sensitivity training, the famous sensitivity training, marketing, as well as multiple workshops that promote gender identity in the workplace, and community management strategies for support. Because when you're playing Pokemon, this is what's important: who you fuck at night. Or during the day. Given Niantic is one of GaymerX's clients, current question, what's behind the Pokemon Go gender erasure? Turns out the makers of Pokemon Go consulted with a Sweet Baby Inc. style consultancy firm, GaymerX. Did this lead to the changes? These firms need to go. And yeah, as a high probability, I think that Niantic all of a sudden did not decide, the game models that we've had for, at this point, years, let's change them, make them look ugly as hell. The same change that happens to almost every female protagonist in video games, where they ugly them up so as not to somehow be aligning with unrealistic body standards. Yeah, same shit. And I guarantee you, it's a GaymerX type sensitivity reading type thing that they went and they go, these are very feminine. They're very conforming to traditional body standards. And it can be offensive and off-putting to those in the non-binary gender fluid community. That's that's what one of their meetings is like, by the way. It takes forever because they talk so slow. Kern previously reported Niantic's new avatar update for Pokemon Go completely removed sexed bodies. It did, basically. Pokemon Go app removed gender from all Pokemon Go players yesterday in a sweeping change that left fans at Pokemon Go HubNet furious. I took a look at the character creator myself. Gender is gone, replaced by a hodgepodge of androgynous options. Yeah, we covered this video yesterday, actually, if not necessarily the changes, but the backlash, because it's been building. And of course, they're all getting called bigots and homophobes because that's what you do. That's what you do if you're one of these corrupted companies. When you do something that your fan base doesn't like, you call them bigots. Shout out to the Warhammer fans. It's your turn now. In another post, he explained character creators in AAA games went from male, female to body type A and B. Yes. The next step from AAA studios I spoke with says even body types are being erased in upcoming. By the way, and say this about Helldivers 2, which I still love it. Doesn't have male or female, only has body types. The next AAA studios I spoke with says even body types are being erased in upcoming games. Instead, you will be presented with a random mix of male and female parts, bodies, heads, and faces. Pokemon Go already did this. Yeah, you're going to have to put together a jigsaw puzzle if you want a heteronormative character. And, oh boy. Yeah. Some of those faces, they look very diverse, very diverse. We'd be very happy casting you in all modern products. In response to one user claiming he would be fine with the changes if he could still create an aesthetically pleasing character, Kern replied, the neat thing is you can't. You can't create masculine or feminine. Everything is blended, which is what they want. An alleged industry insider informed Sausage Roll back in 2020, that's a great name, that female characters were being made to look more like men in order to promote transgenderism. Well, I'll tell you what, we have certainly seen that proven in the last 3 years. Whether you agree it's that or it's a combination of that and the unrealistic body standards they keep talking about, we have certainly seen the manifestation, if that's a word, the manifestation of a lot of female protagonists, both in the way they act and in the way they look. The insider stated, it's not really about the sexual objectification of women. Women, like men, come in all shapes and sizes. To say that having big, busty women is unrealistic is untrue. Shout out Sydney Sweeney. This insider then added, this is only true for trans people. A trans woman can't naturally grow large breasts, and not all trans people can afford implants. If you see a game where the women are a little less curvy, it's not because the game designers are worried about receiving backlash for sexualizing women. It's because they are worried about offending the trans community. Boy, yet you know, this sort of tracks with the way the trans community is treated and has been treated in the Hollywood. Like, that is a sacred cow with them, at least, where you could talk about a lot of things, but you cannot. And that's where we're finding a lot of the people that were fired and blacklisted were related to that agenda in televisions and movies, and they're not capitulating it. Then revealed from a design standpoint, this is a really challenging problem. I've had many board meetings about how to tackle this. Trans people want realistic, by the way, trans people, this is like good luck nailing down that means. That's across the board. Could mean many different things. Anyway, trans people want realistic representation in our games, but they feel excluded if they were represented as too masculine or too feminine. That's why you will see a lot of designers nerfing the female form. I've never actually heard this take. That's interesting. So that the difference between trans women and cis is a slur, by the way. So the difference between trans women and women is a little less noticeable. This information was backed up by YouTuber Yellow Flash. Oh, shout out Yellow Flash, who stated, I was told it was done to be ambiguous to make everybody feel okay and included. Instead, all they've done is alienate everyone. They're purposely trying to walk a line here so they don't offend queer people. That's what I was told. Now take that with a grain of salt. Well, and again, that was in the context of 2020. Boy, it seems like that tracks, and a lot of that has been proven true. YouTuber Melanie Mack has also asserted the changes made by Niantic, which were being tested back in March, were done for the trans gays. Not G-A-Y, but G-A-Z-E. She then wrote on, none of this is about women. It's the trans gays. This update isn't a relatable female frame. It's straight up transgender. And yes, we covered this too yesterday. It is. That is exactly what it is. Again, all tracking to, yeah, I guess it's not maybe just as much about beauty standards as they might want to say, and it's actually about not offending their trans ideology. Now, from this part of the article, they go on to about transgender ideology being evil and dangerous. So they quote Cat Williams, who he had a fun appearance, and then it goes into some religious stuff. Look, I am not religious in the strictest sense. When it comes right down to it, I have no problem with adult people who suffer from gender dysmorphia or body dysmorphia, the Blair Whites of the world, who still acknowledge biological reality. But for them, the most comfortable way to live in this world is to present as the opposite sex. And at least in Blair's wife, boy, she does a damn good job. I have no problem out of respect referring to her as her chosen pronouns. She's also quite passing, and that's sort of the thing. That being said, this transgender ideology that has been spread in the last 10 years that is specifically targeted as kids and what would eventually just turn out to be gay people. So when every time they want to talk about genocides, well, it sort of is. And unfortunately, it's gay people, because rather than giving them the time, waiting till they're over 18, waiting for their bodies to fully, because that's the other lie. There is a big medical industry that is preying on these people. You turn them into lifelong medical patients. Unfortunately, you cannot stop puberty. And just when they say, oh, you can stop at any time, just starts back up. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. And you've actually done radical damage. And unfortunately, that's what it's taking. It's taking the detransitioners to come out of the fog of lies that they've been told. And those stories are absolutely heartbreaking. But what you're left with when you do this to children, instead of fully formed adults that know everything going into it, when you turn them into lifelong medical patients and turn them into these social contagions that they basically are, at least in the school levels, boy, it is dangerous and it is evil. At least the people doing it strictly for the money. The doctors getting $70,000 a pop for a vaginoplasty. Yeah. Look it up. Not good stuff. And I know, how did we get there from video games? Well, unfortunately, when we keep talking about DEI and agenda, that's what it all is. It's a rather nefarious. It's not actually about diversity. It's not actually about equity or inclusion. It's about pushing these agendas to let them control people. And at the end of the day, let them make money. Unfortunately, it does. Money is the root of all evil. And when you break it all down, it all just does go down to money. And I'm sorry that that's the case, but it is. It is what it is, and this is what it is. So the Sweet Baby Inks, the gamers, the Black Girl gamers, all of these consultancy firms, they're all corrupted and a part of a corrupted system, all pushing straight up dangerous agendas. Let me know what you think of this. Make sure to like, share, and sub. If you've done that, thank you. If you're going to do that, thank you. And
well, bye.